Hey, good morning, Eastern Oregon, and welcome to this May 12th version of AM Live on EOA, your connection to Eastern Oregon. We're glad that you are here with us today. If you want to find our content, go to EOA.network. EOA.network, that takes you to a link tree where you can find our Facebook and our Roku on our website. And then also all of these conversations end up on on different podcast networks. Glad you're here with us. Here in a little bit, we are going to have Chris with us, who is the Recreation Director for the City of LeGrand Parks Department. And be a good conversation. So, how are you, man?
Good. Good.
Yeah.
Second Monday.
Yeah.
I was at a baseball game, games this weekend, and this kid, you should have seen the ball. It was bad. But here's the thing: it hit him in the face.
Ooh.
And he came back. It happened on Friday. He came back on Sunday, and there was no bruising yet.
Really?
There was no bruises at all.
Wow.
And it hit him in the face hard enough to break bones and knock him out. And there was zero bruising. Like, his face was a little puffy.
Wow.
And he had already had surgery to fix it and everything. He went home on Friday to Boise, had surgery Saturday, come back Sunday, right? Mm-hmm. And no bruising, though. It was the weirdest thing ever. Like, I mean, I saw a LeGrand kid get hit in the eye by a ball Thursday or maybe Wednesday night at practice, and it was already so swollen. And then at the game on Thursday, his eye was black. You know what I mean? Like, with bruising. And this kid must have, I don't know. I don't understand how it can not bruise.
Yeah.
Like, I don't.
Huh. Weird.
Yeah, it was kind of strange.
Well, I was at the city council budget meetings last night. That was pretty exciting.
I'm sure it was. Sure it was good.
No, that's a big setup for us. So Bennett and I spent a good portion of the day getting that all together, and so yeah.
Fun. It just sounds like my idea of a great time.
Yeah. So they're a little more active this year, just because John O'Brien is new, and so they have a new city manager, and so the routine is just a little bit different. Well, I mean, the routine's the same, but it's so. I guess it's good. I mean, I'm happy that they're kind of going through stuff carefully. So, anyhow.
Well, aren't they supposed to do that all the time?
Yes, but you know how it is when you kind of get into a routine when you have the same manager for 15 or 18 years, and that's kind of how it's been. So they're just, it's a little, well, and budget wise, Chris probably knows all about this. Budget wise, they're looking at a decline in income coming in, or an increase in expenses, and so they're trying to figure out how to make.
I think that's every human on the planet.
That is. Well, and it's every organization, especially government.
Well, yeah, when people have a decline in income and an incline in out, then so do organizations, because people don't have the money to spend or to give. Yep.
So, anyhow.
Wild.
All right, well, hey, want to do sports?
Let's do it.
All right.
AM Sports Report brought to you by Hobby Habit. Gundam. Find your next gunplay model at Hobby Habit. They're getting new models in every week. And if you can see that picture right there, that's a pretty cool looking one right there. This is like these popular models. I think they put them together. I don't know a lot about them, but you can go talk to Joe at Hobby Habit and he'll tell you all about it, just for the fun of it. EOU softball beat Campbellsville 9-8 yesterday on a walk-off 3-run home run by Hope Burke. It was Burke's second 3-run home run of the game. They play today at 12:30 Pacific time, so 12:30 our time, 2:30 Central. They play the host in the number 1 seed, Mobile, Alabama. All 5 CCC softball teams won yesterday, with UBC winning 2 and knocking off the number 1 seed in their pod, Oklahoma City. It's a double elimination pod, so you have to win all the way out to win the pod, and you win the pod, you advance. So Oklahoma City's not out of it, but UBC is in the driver's seat in that pod as the 4 seed. EOU track and field held the CCC championships over the weekend. The men won the conference. Ben Welch was named the CCC Coach of the Year again. It's got to be getting close to 20, I would imagine, for him. The women finished in second behind UBC. Lizzie Grandel was named the most valuable performer with 31 points on the women's side for her team, and also the field athlete of the meet. I'm going to put all the CCC, all CCC honors up on the screen. I'm not going to read them all. You can see them all right there. There's the men, and then we'll get to the women. What a great weekend for EOU. I think they were third. I think they were sitting at third for the women and in the region, but the two teams ahead of them were UBC and C of I, if I remember right, and they ended up getting second, so that's not bad. In the men, another CCC conference title for them. LHS baseball beat Baker twice on Thursday to make it 11 in a row. They play Mac High today. Non-league contest, 3 p.m. down at Optimist. The JV play right before them at 1 in the same place. So if you have nothing going on this afternoon, go down and watch some LHS baseball. LHS softball split with Baker on Friday. They go to Vail tomorrow for a non-league game at 5 p.m. Mountain Time with the Vikings. And then JV hosts Ontario Friday at 4 p.m. That's a short sports report for you today. We'll talk more about baseball and the playoffs and softball and the playoffs on Thursday. This is brought to you by AM Sports Report, brought to you by Hobby Habit, just for the fun of it. I said this is brought to you by the AM Sports Report, brought to you by Hobby Habit, just for the fun of it.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's take a look outside.
It's going to be warm.
Yep. Man, everything, we drove over to Joseph on Sunday for Mother's Day. Everything is green up on top for a few more weeks. Anyhow, so pretty. All right, let's take a look at the weather, Bennett. 92 today?
Holy mackerel.
Wow.
And then tomorrow, 30 degrees cool.
Yeah.
With thunderstorms.
Yeah.
88% chance of rain tomorrow.
Wow.
Good Lord.
So the next. So, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all a little bit cooler.
Really cool on
Yeah,
Saturday.
you're going to put a sweater on, dude.
35 is the low on Saturday? Wow.
Yeah.
It's that you know, it happens every year. There's going to be a week or two of, you know.
Cold stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
But 92 today.
Yeah, that's hot.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Good baseball weather.
Yeah. Go out and get out there today. Enjoy the weather. So
You ain't going to be out there. That's too hot for you. You are not going to be outside today. I promise you that.
not for any length of time.
No.
I don't really have time to be outside today. So, all right. Well, hey, glad you guys are here with us. We will be right back with Chris from the City of LeGrand, their recreational director. All right, we're back with Chris. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. And I didn't even attempt your last name. How do you say your last name?
Gianandrea.
Gianandrea, but that's not how it's spelled.
No. I mean, that's phonetically how you'd say it. John Andrea. That's why I wrote when I graduated EOU for Kyle Pfaffenbach. I put John Andrea.
Well, cool. And so tell us about yourself. Where I
Yeah.
mean, where were you raised, and how did you get to LeGrand? You've been here all this time.
Goodness. Yeah, I mean, I was born in California and came here when I was 3 and basically lived here since. I mean, I've bopped around for like college, and my wife and I lived in Arizona for a little bit while she did optometry school. So, but yeah, then we came back because this is home and it's where we want to be and raise our family. So,
Cool. And your acquaintances with my son Brady.
yeah, he graduated a year ahead of me. So I was 2011 at LHS, so he was 2010. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
I
And
think
so
my mom still worked at the high school in 2011. You know my siblings, Kelly Walker, Casey Walker.
Sounds familiar, yeah.
Yeah, did my mom work there?
Uh,
Pam Dodds in the career center?
yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
2011.
Yeah, that sounds right. I interviewed someone for a summer job the other day, and I was like, she looks familiar. And she's like, yeah, we went to high school together. I was like, yeah, didn't it? Just
Imagine being my
Yeah.
age and that happening.
unfortunately, between the job I have, growing up here, I see a lot of people, and so remembering names and faces is tough sometimes.
yeah. So how long have you been the recreational director?
It'll be 4 years in a few weeks in June. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's a full-time gig?
Yep. Yeah, I do that full time, and then when I'm not doing that, I'm coaching girls soccer at LHS, and when I'm not doing that, I'm chasing around 2 kiddos and golfing and doing all the things. So
Yeah. How old are your kids now?
I have a 3-year-old, and then she'll be 8 weeks in a couple
I was
days.
gonna
Oh, wow.
say a fresh one.
Yeah,
too.
she's a fresh little baby. So
Wow. So what does the recreational director do other than the obvious? I mean, but
yeah, I mean, what don't I do? We do. We do a lot of events and stuff like that. I do things like summer camps, after school program. I run that. Youth sports, adult sports. Yeah, all sorts of things. It's funny. I'll go to like ORPA or like big conferences and stuff, and these Portland area parks and rec districts and things like that. We'll have one person that is a rec coordinator that does just soccer, and they're like, "What about you?" I'm like, "Well, I do soccer, basketball, softball. Like, I'll just." And
Yeah.
they're like, "Oh, you do all that by yourself?" I'm like, "Yes, I do." So
yeah, and I'm remembering now. So my stepson Evan, was playing adult basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's where I saw you last.
yeah,
didn't I?
probably. Yeah, I run that league. I play in a few of my leagues that I run. Like I'll play in basketball and I'll play in soccer because I just like to, and it's fun. And keeps me in shape and part of the community. So yeah, I'll run those and then I'll play in them and usually lose. But
Now, have those things been going for a while, or did you kind of originate some of those things?
soccer I originated only because I was running an adult soccer league while I was doing my capstone at EOU. That was my capstone project, me and my friend Jordan Hilmick. That was our capstone, and then we ran it for a couple years after we graduated just to run it. And then when I moved away to Arizona and came back, there was no more adult soccer. So I started that back up. As far as adult basketball, that was always running, but the way I've done it has kind of changed. So the first couple years I was here, teams, you sign up as a team, you get, 7, 8 buddies. And the first year I tried to run adult basketball that way, we only had 2 teams sign up. So I'm like, well, you're not going to have 2 teams just play each other for 8 straight weeks.
Right.
And then playoffs, like, well, there's no playoffs, it's just the same 2 teams. So the next year, again, I don't even think I had 2 teams sign up. So I was like, I'm going to make it so that way you sign up individually, and then I'll make the teams, because that's what I've always done for soccer. And I did that, and the first year we had 5 teams. We had like 50-something people show up, and then the last 2 years we've had, almost 70 people, and 6 teams or so, 7 teams, which is awesome. And a big reason why switching to individual was, one, it's hard to like get 6, 7, 8 people together that are going to consistently be there every week to play basketball. And then also, when I moved to Arizona, growing up playing sports my whole life, that's how I made friends. So when I moved to Arizona and I didn't know anyone but my wife and some of her classmates, I was like, well, how do I make more friends? So I started looking, adult soccer league, adult basketball. And I just signed up individually, and before you know it, you're making friends. And so, with so many people moving to this community that want to meet new people or stay active, like the individual registration has been part of that and has made it really successful.
Well, and that was, Evan is in his early 30s, and he travels a lot.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he grew up here and had friends as a kid, but a lot of them have gone different places and stuff now. And so, I mean, that was a very cool connection for him, I mean, so, yeah, I mean, and I guess my mind is always on, like, what draws people to LeGrand and the Valley and Eastern Oregon and the quality of life that we have here. And again, that's one of those things that's just that for somebody like me, I don't even think about, because I've been involved in church and different places, different social aspects. But if you're not involved in those things and you don't know people, how do you connect with them?
Right.
Yeah. And so super vital.
Yeah, and everyone, like I said, everyone has their own avenues and ways to make friends and stuff like that. And for me, growing up playing sports, that was it. So when I think about that and I put that in perspective, it's like, why wouldn't I do it? Individual signups. And I presented that at Oregon Parks and Rec Association conference a couple of years ago. And I was a teacher before I was doing this job. So when I presented it, it was funny. A lot of people were like, wow, he's really good. He's like really comfortable up there. And like, that was one of the great, I was like, I was a teacher. And they go, oh, that makes sense. I was like, yeah, I'm just educating. That's all it is.
Yeah. So a teacher, I mean, so how did you go from being a teacher?
I mean, so I went through EOU. I got my degree in physical activity and health, and I went through and did the master's program there and got certified to teach. And then when my wife got into optometry school in Arizona, we moved down there. So I taught middle school PE for 3 years, which was interesting, right? Growing up in LeGrand and then teaching in the downtown Phoenix at a middle school was kind of wild. But so I taught there, and then moving back, I knew PE positions were hard to come by. I mean, Matt Wolcott was my PE teacher when I was in high school. You know what I mean? So like people don't give that up. And
positions.
and Jake, he went through the MAT program right after me, and now he's the PE coach at Central. So I knew that was going to be not really feasible, and I thought about maybe doing another science or something like that, but I would much rather be active. So my wife one day just sent me like, hey, look at this rec coordinator job through the city of LeGrand. I was like, okay. And I did a Zoom interview in like January with Stu and some other people, and it was pretty funny because I was basically like, yeah, I'm obligated to be here till June per my contract for teaching, and plus my wife doesn't graduate till June. And we interviewed. I was like, it was fine, I did okay. Like, there's some things that I just don't do, and I was like, plus they have to wait like 6 months. And Stu called me like 2 days later. I was like, yeah, you're the man for the job. We'll wait till June. And I was like, okay, well, about that. I was like, I told you June, but really it's like I'll be there for a little bit, and then we're going on vacation to celebrate my wife graduating optometry school. So it was more like the end of June. And he's like, no, that's fine. So, and yeah, I've loved it ever since. Kind of gives me a good mix of, I get to work with kids, I get to work with adults, the public, I get to do some office work. Like, my office is at the pool, so, when baseball's going on and it's a little slow, I pop out there and watch some baseball. And, and then I coach the girls at the high school, so that helps a lot too. Kind of gives me that teaching itch that, like getting to work with the girls at the high school. So.
Yeah. Where does your wife work?
My wife is Dr. Maddie out of Apple Eye Care.
Okay.
One of the owners and one of the doctors out there. So.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, and I know the people there well, and so that I'm kind of just putting the pieces together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, how cool. So tell us kind of about the things that you're thinking about this morning that you're going to introduce us to. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, as far as City of LeGrand goes and Parks and Rec, like I have all my summer camps up and registration open for those. And one of those is LHS Youth Soccer Camp, which I run with the boys team. So that's a fundraiser for us, and it's also just a good way to give back to the community and for kids. And it's for boys and girls. My girls team, me and my coaching staff and the girls run the morning session, and then the boys team runs the afternoon session. It's 1st through 8th grade, and yeah, we've ran that the last few years, and we got a lot of kids, and so registration-wise, it's a lot easier to keep track of all those registrations if they register on the parks page and through the account that way. So that's one thing that we do, and it's really great. It's a good time. We meet a lot of kids, and we get I think it's fun when the girls are involved and they're there, and the boys team's involved and they're there, and kids can see them wearing their LHS stuff and helping them learn new skills, and it's awesome. And that camp's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun working with those kids for a few days. So,
Well, cool. And how is, I mean, the girls, the LHS girls soccer team, they've been pretty strong in the past.
Yeah.
That's been a great program.
yeah,
over the
yeah.
years.
It's we've been really fortunate. We've got a lot of really good athletes, and so whenever we do well in any sport, it's awesome. But yeah, the girls, I think we've won, gosh, I can't remember, but it's been a lot of GOLs in a row here,
Yeah.
like upwards of 14, 15. So, knock on wood, keep that going. Yeah, so I think that's also part of it is, really investing in youth programs. And I got some other things I'm doing this summer for LHS and just for, in general, youth soccer that I'm trying to help because, you can't really hope that you get good soccer players and good athletes. You got to kind of help them get going in the youth programs, and so trying to, take part in that and help with that as much as I can. So,
Yeah, well, and, LeGrand has been like wrestling. They've
Yeah.
built, I mean, they have
Yeah.
a great program.
yeah, their Mat Club, and yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see the foundation and like Parker with Little League and all the things. So I'm trying to do that. I've slowly been doing it, and I decided to take on more and more each year, and then I have another kid, and so I stretch myself more thin. But no, yeah, we do the LHS youth camp, and then we're gonna do a new camp this summer, a keeper striker camp, so position specific. A couple reasons. I have a really awesome JV coach who's an amazing goalie and trains our keepers in Humberto Villagomez, and kids love him, and he's a great keeper coach. And then I'm good friends with Jordan Hilmick over at BMCC, and he played keeper with me while we're at EOU playing. So he's going to partner with that, and then I got a few other people that will come in and help, but that one's cool because it's position specific. Specifically like working with strikers on trying to score goals and keepers trying to keep them from doing that. And, this idea came about because, one, not a lot like it in our area. If you want to do a camp like this, you kind of got to travel a little bit. And then also, I don't like hoping that a Lindy Isaacson or a Ainsley Colquitt are going to walk through the door each year and know how to play keeper really well. I'd prefer to just kind of get them on that path earlier. So if I can take a couple kids, and Beto and Jordan and I can make them keepers and get them going, then in a few years I know I'll just keep getting keepers. So that's a new one, and that, again, back to the Mat Club and that stuff, it's just all part of the process of trying to keep a program going strong.
So for somebody like me that doesn't understand soccer very
Yeah.
much, what makes a keeper special?
I'd say a good keeper, just naturally right off the bat, is just athletic. You see a lot of really good keepers come from different sports. Like you'll see, there's a keeper that I knew when I was in high school who was a baseball player, never played soccer before, but just that hand-eye coordination and going down on the ground, going up to get the ball. So being naturally athletic, I'd say basketball players too, yeah. Volleyball is also another one if you can get volleyball players. I'd say being tall, not like, it's not mandatory, right?
Obviously, look at Beto.
Yeah, it's not. I played keeper, and I'm not tall at all, but I also have a 36-inch vertical, and I can move, so that's different. But if you have someone that's a little taller and has all those athletic abilities, that's really great. But also, I like to tell the girls, if you see a really tall keeper, hit it on the ground, because tall people don't like going down on the ground and getting back up all the time. So, and then just being brave and courage, right? Because keeper is the only position that you get to use your hands, and you got to throw your body around to go get it, right? Whether it's diving or someone's coming at you, going out and getting the ball. So just kind of having that fearlessness of, yeah, I don't care. I'm going to go get the ball and do whatever it takes. So those are just a few key attributes, I'd say.
I think you missed a really important one.
What's that?
Communication.
Yeah.
You got to be able to communicate with the rest of the
Well,
people.
yeah, because you get to see the whole.
They're
you get to
the
see the whole
quarterback,
field.
essentially.
Yeah, I'd say that's if they can do it, that's great. If they can't, I can teach them that. The
Yeah,
things I
right.
can't really teach are like, are you athletic? Like, I can only teach so much. Like the communication thing, right? If they already know how to do it, great.
Yeah.
But I'd say Lindy Isaacson didn't come in being a great communicator. She learned that over time, and she became really good at it. And
Yeah, but you have to be willing to.
yeah,
be
you have to be
loud
willing
and-
to be loud
yeah,
and talk and
yeah,
communicate.
yeah.
Yeah.
Pardon the noise if you guys
no.
hear it. they're redoing the roof.
They're
right
working
now.
on the roof, yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, that's interesting. Okay, so then what for a striker? What is a
Striker, I mean, fast. People like to be fast. I guess it depends on what kind of striker you're looking for. Because there's, if, like, let's just talk about our formation. We run a 4-3-3. So 4 defenders, 3 midfield, 3 up top. So the 3 up top, there's 1 in the middle and then 2 wide. So you'd call those wingers. And then the 1 in the middle you'd call like a true striker, like a number 9 is what you'd call them. So they all kind of different. So if you're playing out on the wing, you want to be fast, right? Because you spread the field, get up and down the pitch. The 9 kind of depends. Some people want maybe someone who can really possess the ball and control the ball, and they sit more in like a midfield. Or sometimes you want someone who's really big and strong and can hold up the ball and have their back to the goal, and no one's going to take the ball off of them. So I've had the privilege of working with a lot of different ones, and it's just kind of about style of play you want to play and working with what you get. But fast, big, strong, goal scorer, right? Knows for the goal, whether that's they score from ridiculous angles and places, aka a Paige Allen, or they are crafty and they kind of poach goals, is like I like to say. Like the ball just kind of ends up at their feet and they just tap in goals. Like, I tell girls, I don't care how it goes in. If it goes in, it's a goal. So whether you score from 40 yards or you score from 4 feet, a goal's a goal. So however you make it work. So sometimes there's just players that just have a nose for it, right? They always find a way to score goals, and it could be different ways. But yeah, big, strong, fast, crafty. Striker's kind of one of those weird ones where it's like anyone, there's lots of different tools, and depending on how you want to play, it could be different.
So, do you watch soccer also? I mean, like watch professional soccer? Yeah.
I'm actually probably I'll watch it, but if I'm being honest, even though I coach soccer and I played college soccer, I watch a lot of other sports more than I watch soccer. So, I mean, the World Cup's coming up. Obviously, I watch that, and every now and then, if there's like a big like Premier League game or like a Champions League game or something like that, I'll watch. Any live sporting event, I love going and watching live sporting events, so I'll go watch soccer. But I like watching EOU, go and watch the men play my alma, and watching Josh and the girls, and live stuff is awesome. But as far as TV, like, if it's Saturday morning and I turn the TV on, anymore I have a child, so it's definitely not sports. It's not even what I want to watch. So, but, I might turn on soccer, or you might catch it more likely on golf, or in the evenings, probably watching NBA playoffs, or, I'm from California, so I'm a big Bay Area guy, so Giants, Niners, Warriors, so watching a lot of those things.
I don't like watching golf. I like watching YouTube golf. YouTube golf.
Yeah,
way
YouTube
different.
golf's kind of changed the game.
Yeah,
Actually,
it's
there's
way
been a lot of
better
conversation
than-
that I like watching. I mean, I used to hate watching golf on TV, and now this is how I know I'm getting old, because it's my whole personality is golf. It seems like, so I could watch it all the time. I also Netflix with that Full Swing show has like introduced me to a lot of golf. Like obviously, like Rory and Tiger and all these people, but like that show has introduced me to a lot of people, and I'm like, oh wow, they have a cool story. I like watching them, so it's kind of fun.
So, what's YouTube golf? Why is that different?
Because when YouTube golfers talk you through what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like in golf, you just hear
Right.
Yeah.
the guy.
Right. Yeah.
The broadcaster,
It's so much more intriguing. And
Yeah,
live golf is better than PGA to
YouTube,
watch, I think.
YouTube golfers and like content creators have kind of like made the game. They've
Immersive.
they've opened the game up and like kind of take you through it, and there's more personality you get to see, and it's.
I can watch Bryson's channel all day.
Yeah, it's also shorter, right? It's not
It's
like
way
you're watching
shorter.
6 hours of golf and you're bopping around from different players. You're watching one person for like an hour, maybe at most,
Because
they
you're
cut it and
editing
clip it.
out all of the
all the
yeah,
in between.
all the
Yeah.
walking stuff. But still, they're talking about what they're going to use and what their strategy is.
Absolutely,
and-
the whole time.
Yeah, and it's a little different, and it's good. It's actually growing the game, which is good. Like getting more people involved in playing the game. So
Yeah.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah, it's just interesting how technology has changed.
oh yeah,
All of that stuff that used to not. I mean, there's a very similar thing that has happened in the singing world. I mean, it used to be the only way that you could be recognized was to get a label and but now anybody with a good voice who wants to take a risk and
I mean, also with like TikTok and Reels and stuff like that, there's a lot of original audio on there that people just make music, and next thing you know, it's trending and it's a popular song, and they're like, "Hey, this is a good song. Let's come record it for real." And it's
That's how a lot of hits get made right
Yeah.
now. Actually,
it's wild.
Yeah, no, it's just kind of interesting. So, so what do you have any for the recreational rec area for the city of LeGrand? Do you have anything that you want to do that's kind of a goal out there for you?
Ooh, man, it's hard.
Or Stu?
I mean, Stu's always pushing me to do more stuff.
Yeah.
And again, like I said, I'm only one man, so
Right.
I try to do as much as I can. I think as far as like wanting to do other things, I think trying to grow some areas of whether it's youth leagues or sports leagues or events. Each summer we run an event called Touch a Truck on downtown here, and that's really cool. That's one of my favorite events. It's free and kids love it. And having a 3-year-old boy who loves vehicles and trucks and all the things, like it's just a hit. So that one I'm always trying to expand. Because we get police and fire involved, and we get RD Mac brings vehicles and stuff like that. I keep trying to reach out and get something different, like something kids have never seen before, or someone who has a really cool vehicle. So trying to grow that and expand that. All events, really trying to grow those. Our concerts in the park series, and trying to do more things. That would be so cool. Something different. Yeah. I just trying to get in contact with people that know where to find those kind of things, or who has something like that is kind of tricky. But I think right now just growing stuff. As far as expanding goes or doing anything outside the norm, I think it's kind of I'm always open for ears. People will bring ideas to me, and if they want to help and do things, I'm all for it. A couple of years ago, I had a gentleman come to me, say he wanted to run a mountain biking class during the summer, and I was like, sure. And we sat down, busted out the details, and he did that for 2 summers, and it was a big hit. Working with middle schoolers, teaching them how to ride the trails up on Mira, and he supplied all the equipment and would help them rent equipment and those sorts of things. So I'm always open for business. If you got an idea, you can come pitch it to me in my office, and we'll see if it works out, and we could try it. And it's, again, like I said, I'm only one person, so I'm all for helping and doing things like that.
So you said your office is at the swimming pool?
Yeah, my office is in the pool. So Veterans Memorial Pool, and I guess smell chlorine all day. So
yeah, do you help manage the pool too, or is that just where you are?
No, that's just where I am. I mean, we're a team. We're a good team. We all work together and help do stuff. So but it's not like I'm out there doing chemicals or anything. I'm not certified to do that. I like to joke. My swimming is not that kind of swimming. My swimming is the water's this at my waist, and I'm just in the sun chilling.
Yeah.
So I'll help with some things, and we work together as a team. But no, my office is just mainly there. So.
That's the only place where there's room.
I mean, there's
Or do you prefer to be there?
Stu's office used to be over in the main building where our parks maintenance is, and when I got here, it was me, the aquatic and rec coordinator or superintendent, and then our aquatics coordinator were over there, and then Stu moved over like a few months after I moved here and got this job. So we're all over there, and then the parks building is more like our parks maintenance guys and urban forestry. So there's only like really 2 offices over there, and then the shop. So
Gotcha.
Ah, okay. See, I thought Stu, I didn't know. I guess I just presumed
Yeah.
it was at the Parks Department.
yeah, a lot of people like when they talk to Stu or me and
Yeah.
tell them for a meeting, they go over there. And
Yeah.
we're like, no, the pool. So
Well, cool. Well, thanks. Anything else you want to, I guess, remind us about the camps again and stuff?
yeah, so like I said, LHS Youth Soccer Camp will run at the end of June, June 29th to July 1st, and you can register for that on legrandparks.org. It's
Put the link in the comments.
Yeah, it's for boys and girls. Like I said, my girls team and I run the morning session, and then the boys run the afternoon session.
Who's the coach for the boys?
Luke Coomer, he's just took over a couple months ago. Caleb stepped down.
Has he been involved before?
Yeah, he was the JV coach last season, and then he teaches at the high school. So, yeah, Luke and I sat down. And I was like, hey, Caleb and I have been doing this the last few years. Do you want involved? And he said, yep, keep us on there. So I got that, and then the Keeper Striker Camp will be at the end of July. Registering for that is, just hit me up with a text or an email, and I'll sort it out. And then I'm going to run a free coaching clinic, mainly for like the summer UCYSA coaches, but really anyone at the end of June, right? Middle of June.
June 27th.
Yeah, end of June, a Saturday. We'll just do a couple hours, and that's mainly for if you're a coach who's coached before and just want to learn some things. Great. If you're a parent who's about to coach summer soccer for the first time, that's a great place to come learn some things. And
Those are some nice pictures in your flyers.
oh, thank you. Yeah, I know a guy. Yeah. It's so handy. It's kind of frustrating when we go on the road and you're not there, and then I have to like filter through pictures to make these posts and stuff. So, yeah. But yeah, so those are 3 LHS camps, and then City of LeGrand has all our summer camps, our weekly summer camps up, also at legrandparks.org. So,
Cool.
Yep.
All righty. Well, thank you, man.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah, glad that you're here with us, and when you do have the Touch a Truck event, let us know ahead of time.
I think it's June 20th or 21st, whatever that Saturday is. So,
Yeah.
I think it would be the 20th because your camp is on the 27th.
Yeah, so it's that Saturday before. So, and it's hard because trying to plan it around like high school graduation, EOU graduation,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So,
There's so much stuff
yeah,
going on.
it's usually, I have it scheduled run to 11 to 1 on Adams, and so.
All righty. Cool. Want to get us out of here?
Yeah, on this day, May 12th, it was kind of a boring day. 1908, wireless radio broadcasting is patented by Nathan Stubblefield. 2002, that's a pretty big gap, from 1908 to 2002. Former U.S. President Jimmy Carter arrives in Cuba for a 5-day visit with Fidel Castro, becoming the first president in or out of office to visit the island since Castro's 1959 revolution. 2022, the first images published of the supermassive black hole Sagittarius A that lies at the heart of the Milky Way, captured by the Event Horizon Telescope collaboration. The #1 song in America on this day in 1996, which was my junior year in high school, Always Be My Baby by Mariah Carey. And the quote of the day comes from Judith Martin. If you can't be kind, at least be vague. One more time. If you can't be kind, at least be vague. Words to live by right there.
I think so.
Yeah.
So, hey, thank you for being here.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Chris.
Really appreciate it. Thank you guys for joining us this morning, and we'll see you soon.